A defrost control board for a heat pump, which is different than a gas furnace. Heat pumps work off of refrigerant. They also work off of heat strips, generally speaking. They sometimes people have sometimes some issues maybe when the temperature gets cold, say below 35 degrees, and moisture in the air. But generally speaking, they're good. But the question is, every so often a heat pump has to go into defrost mode. So once it goes into defrost mode, the ice will get on the coils. It has a little temperature sensor thing and this temperature sensor senses the temperature, and it also has a timer X amount of time, and then it may go into defrost mode. So this is actually a defrost board here, and this is located in the condenser outside, generally speaking, and this is from a split unit. And a split unit means the air handler is in one location and another location. And if one wonders if they have a split unit or a regular unit, simply look down, and if you see copper lines coming out, one smaller, one larger line, and you have part of your unit inside or under the house or in the attic, part of it outside, this is a split unit. The topic of this conversation is how to force this into defrost mode when one wants to desire to put it in. Because what happens, the coils will accumulate ice. Once they accumulate ice, this ice needs to melt. Otherwise, the system's going to go turn into a solid block of ice. If you've ever gone out and noticed a unit that looks like a solid block of ice and it's a heat pump, in the wintertime, this could be maybe the problem, but not always. There are many factors, but so the defrost mode will defrost. It allows it to go into defrost mode, but the condenser fan motor does not come on. And the condenser fan motor, this way you're not dissipating the heat. The coils are getting warm and melting the ice while the condenser fan motor is not coming on. So let's say we want to manually force this into defrost mode to see if the defrost will begin to melt the ice. As one notices down here, one can see a test. Now, it's not to say different manufacturers may be different, but there are two little prongs here, as one can see, and this says test here. So in order to do this, just get a flathead screwdriver, make sure the other end that you're safe, you have something rubber or something else that you don't get shocked, but take and put this between here, and what you want to do not touch anything else, but put this between the two terminals and touch the two terminals at the same time. You may hear your unit go or so, and sometimes this does this, and this is a natural phenomenon when it goes into into defrost mode. So some people say, wow, my heat pump's making a loud noise outside, and this really concerns me. But generally speaking, it's nothing to be alarmed with, because this is just when it's making this noise when it's going into heat pump mode. So we come up, we have the side off, and we want to manually force this thing into defrost mode. We go down here and we see the little test terminal. We have a screwdriver. We take it between here without touching anything else on the board. You don't want to short anything else. And touch those two terminals. Once you touch those two terminals, and as one can see, it says test on the two terminals. There's two little metal looking prongs sticking up, and it says test. I'll turn the board this way so it's more clear, and you can see the two prongs, and what you do is cross it over with a screwdriver, and once it's crossed over, you may hear the noise going into defrost mode. Keep in mind, when it's in defrost mode, the condenser fan motor outside most probably will not come on. because you don't want to dissipate any heat. You want the heat to remain in there, because the heat is actually what melts the ice. And it's the refrigerant and the heat from the refrigerant that melts the ice. So this is a manual way to put the test terminal into defrost board. And if we actually, this board is sideways, but it may be clearer to see if I do it this way. I simply just take this screwdriver, stick it between the two, and make a connection between the two. Make sure your hand is on something, rubber or something. So, and then you'll hear it, and then you manually, and you don't have to sit there and hold it. You just have to touch the two and let it go, and it's that simple to put the system into defrost mode. And and this is a test terminal here, as one says. One can see. Let's get it configured. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, it's kind of at a tough angle, but as you can read, the board itself says test on the board. So with two prongs coming up, and those prongs look like they're maybe, I would say a ½ inch, just a smidgen more than a ½ inch. But basically, now this is, not every board may look exactly the same, but essentially the principles are similar to, for each particular board. So this is just how to take a heat pump and to force it into defrost mode with a screwdriver. And it's then your unit should, if it has ice accumulated on the unit, it has ice throughout, and you can see the ice, it should begin to melt the ice. So again, how to test a defrost board, how to manually put a defrost board into defrost mode with a screwdriver. Now, this is supposed to do this electronically and through a temperature sensor on its own, but this is how you do it manually. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.